Hey there. This video is going to be a plan with me for the week of November 4th, 2019. I'm in my Hobonichi Weeks, and this is a mega that has the extra note pages in the back. And I've got my monthly calendar marked off with one of Not Just Knots, Babette's clips that I love. And I always refer to my monthly first to make sure there's nothing I'm missing that needs to go to my weekly. And then I use the pencil board as a page marker for my weekly. I do not use it when I'm writing because I actually really enjoy the tactile feel that the pages get after they've been written on. So if you don't like that kind of bumpy feel, or it reminds me of Braille in a sense. If you don't like that texture, then using the pencil board directly behind whatever page you're writing on will eliminate that texture. I actually like it, so I don't use my pencil board for that purpose. I'm a very functional planner. When it comes to journaling, that's when I really love to go all out. I love watercolor, stickers, sketching, you name it. But in my weeks, not a lot of decorating going on here, or not any decorating, actually. You can see I'm just a pen-only girl in my weeks. So I'm going to go back to my monthly calendar. I've already moved some items over. I just keep like a snapshot here of important appointments, things of that nature. We got a birthday coming up on the 7th, so I'll make a note of that. Okay, and then payday, yay! Okay, Saturday. And Sunday, we've got a couple things going on with the church. We will have parking lot duty this weekend, so that will remind me that we have to be there for both services. So that's all I have to pull from my monthly. So what I like to do is I don't put recurrent appointments on my monthly because these squares are fairly small and my handwriting fits for the most part, but I don't like it to get too jumbly. So I put my recurring monthly or recurring appointments period on the weekly view. So I'm just going to write in Camp Gladiator, classes for the week. And I'm going to try to go 5 days this week. Just been going 3 lately, but I'm going to try to kick it up a notch because we actually have some decent weather this week, so I'm trying to take advantage. Because once it starts being like below freezing temperatures, that's when I have the tendency to skip. So the temperatures are more mild this week, so I'm going to try my best to make it every day, Monday through Friday. And I just write in the location because I go to different locations on different days. And when I put something here that's something I need to actually do and not just a note per se, I tend to use the bullet journal symbol, so just the little dots like a task, or it just reminds me when I see that dot that it's something I need to actually do. So this morning, for example, I did go to Camp Gladiators. I'm just going to X through that because it's accomplished. This meeting was not something that I personally had to attend, so I just have the little dash mark out to the side, more like a note in the bullet journal system. And whenever I do attend a Camp Gladiator, I make a note of my check-in number out to the side. I don't do that until after the fact, so I don't end up having to cross out, because if I do end up missing a day, I'll just line through it and not record the number. Not a whole lot going on this week in terms of appointments, so that's nice. I don't have any other appointments that I can think of offhand to add in. I do have home health visits scheduled out on Tuesday and Thursday, and that may change. I may have other days added later, but I don't put details in here for HIPAA and patient privacy. I keep a separate planner or notebook for work where I write in all my details for that. Let's see. Okay, and then you know how the weeks has the little dots where if you wanted to use a straight line and mark something off, you can come up with those 3 different blocks. I don't actually mark the line here, but I use that kind of an imaginary line in my mind and record the weather for the week. So that way I know in advance if we're going to have storms or rain that affects how I tell the boys to dress in the morning when they're getting ready for school. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, make sure I jotted the weather down off to the side. And I just hand sketch my little symbols. If you notice, I just quickly jot in here. I don't try to keep this looking perfect by any means. It gets a little messy sometimes as the week goes on. Okay. Looks like we will have some rain on Thursday. It's going to be cooling down for the weekend. I'm glad there's only 1 day of rain this week. We have had a ton of rain in the past month. It's been kind of blah. Looks like the trend for the week is partly cloudy. Okay, and then here on the right side, what's really been working for me lately is just doing a week of. So if I know specifically that something needs to be done on a particular day, I will go ahead and make note of it on that day. But if I just need to get something done during the week and I'm not completely sure what day I'm going to do it, then I'll just keep track of it on this side of the planner. And I do use that same bullet journal method. So if it's a task, I'll use the little dot and exit off when it's complete. And then throughout the week, as things happen or just pop into my mind, if it's just a note of something, then I'll use the little dash out beside it for note. So I'm just gonna write week of (11/4) through 11/10. And I did break out this morning the 2020 Hobonichi Techo pen. So this is my first time using this pen. I've been using the 2019 pen lately, which is essentially the same pen, but my black ink is almost completely out. So I've got some ink refills in my Hobonichi order that I'm waiting to release. I may do that later today. Let's go ahead and put that while I'm thinking about it. I've had an order on shipping hold. Okay, I also need to pick up and drop off at the cleaners. And that'll just be one trip. Let's see. Need to replace the screen protector on my phone. It has a crack in the protector. Nothing else jumping out at me now. Of course, this is like a constant working list where things get added and crossed off daily, so I always leave some room for that. Now, I don't always do this every week, but I've got a couple things off the top of my mind that I don't want to forget, so I'm going to go ahead down here and make a little to buy list. We need mouthwash and laundry detergent. And then for groceries, with that list being so much longer, what I do for that toward the end of the week, because I normally do grocery shopping over the weekend, is I'll just make a note once I start my grocery list. I start those lists in the back, in the memo pages. And so I'll make a note whenever I start that says grocery list page, you know, and whatever, 112. And that just prompts me to turn to that particular page. And I keep a long grocery list in the back of the book. So I'm thinking this is it. Not very exciting, not decorative. I like to do my decorating in my journals. So this is my version of functional planning. But I'll just tuck the pencil board in and be able to use it throughout the week as a page marker for the weekly section. Yeah, and I think that's it. So thanks for watching. If you share my love for anything related to paper, pens, journaling, or anything creative in general, please consider subscribing and follow me on Instagram at Paper Made Me Do It. Have a great week. Bye.